Success at last. There we go. It's quite a nice fish as well. Hi again. Back on the River Ouse today. I sometimes think us anglers are somewhat crazy. The river levels on the website said normal, and I suppose this is normal for winter, but it's up a bit. But I'm back at the point of the Triangle Island where on the first occasion I lost what felt like a good fish, and conditions were a bit similar to this, in that there's a crease between the main sort of flow here and there is another side channel comes in from the lock. And we have a train again, which is a problem here. Anyway, the train's gone. So you get this side channel comes in from the lock and it meets the main stream, and there's a lovely crease in between. And on the first time I fished it, I got a good bite and I had a fish on for a short while, but it came off. The second time I fished it, the river was low, there was no flow at all, and I didn't get a bite. So this is third time lucky, so we'll see how we go. It's quite chilly. There's a nippy northeasterly wind blowing, but the forecast is possible light rain, but hopefully not. So fingers crossed, and we'll see what happens. Okay, I'm all set up. I've got a feeder on today, a little cage feeder, and I brought some liquidized bread. I'm sitting in mud as usual here. But I also had some bread left over on the last couple of outings, so I mashed it up yesterday at home, and I'm going to throw a bit of that in before we start. I'm not sure if it'll get to the right place in the swim, of course, because it's really difficult to know where the... Oh, well, that was no good. It got nowhere. Right, I need to fry it a bit harder. Slightly bigger piece. Trouble is the wind is right in my face and it's quite a strong northeasterly. Right, that's a bit better. I'm hoping that'll go in the crease between this main flow, which is coming down quite fast, and the much slacker lock cutting here. Right, one more bit perhaps. And let's hope it'll draw something into the swim. It's very difficult to know where that's going to end up, of course. There's lots of cross current and what have you. But anyway, we'll see how that works. That's the only trouble with mashed bread. It's pretty sticky. I think that was a little bit further over to the slack than I cast with the than where I threw the mashed bread, but we'll see what happens. Difficult to know now what is movement of the water and what is potentially a fish. I think perhaps it's the flow's a bit heavier than it was when I fished here the first time. Certainly seems to be moving things around a lot more. According to the river levels, it's supposed to be normal today. Normal for winter, obviously. We did have a lot of rain last night, a lot of rain, so it's not surprising it's looking like this. only a couple of weeks left of the fishing season, so you've got to keep trying, but I must admit the conditions over the past couple of weeks haven't been great. I think it may be worth actually casting a little bit shorter and getting into this slack that's formed right at the point here. Although I'm always wary about fishing too close. I just cast in completely the wrong place, but I'm leaving it there. Much too close, in fact. That looks like a bite. Difficult to tell. Yeah, I completely miscast, and I'm more or less touching the reeds there at the end of the point. I'll probably end up getting snagged up and lose everything. But yeah, that's definitely a fish. That's definitely a fish. It's right in the reeds. Let's get it out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's our chub again, I think. Success at last. There we go. It's quite a nice fish as well. Well, that's my landing net handle bashing against the deck. I'm all caught up now. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, we'll have to stop here because my line's all caught up in the reeds. Let's just grab the unhooking mat because this ground's not the best just here. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, that's better. God, the wind. Yeah, not a massive fish, but very welcome. Yeah, it's just in the mouth there. Get me whole forceps out there. Okay, okay, okay. You moved at just the wrong time there, fishy. That's it. Right, let's put you back, shall we? It's a nice fish. Very welcome lately. It's been really tough lately. Right. You have to watch that my unhooking mat doesn't blow away. Because it's that sort of weather we're putting back over here, away from everything else. Well, after a couple of walkabouts without the fishing rod, I apologise for the last two videos being only looking at water rather than fishing, but at least I've broken the duck. I was a bit worried today things wouldn't work out, but that was quite a nice fish. I did weigh it quickly before I put it back. It's just over 2 pounds, so you can probably see there the reeds at the point of the triangle, and I was literally just beyond those reeds in the slack, which I thought was probably going to be a bit close, but obviously that was the spot to be. But I'm not proposing to move around today, so whether I can actually get any more fish out of this spot, I don't know, but we're going to keep on trying because it's a good start. I've put in a bit more mashed bread. I remembered that the first handful of mashed bread I threw in was actually thrown short just at the end of the reeds there, and that might well be why that chub was down there. But again, I've cast down to much the same sort of spot, and this looks like it could also be a bite, but it's difficult to tell. What with the wind and the way the current's sort of flowing around. It's a bit tricky when you hook them because they're the sort of the way they come in as you bring them back in. They're right near these dying reeds down here. So, and you know what chub are like, they head straight for them. I'm glad I got that one on camera because when you're sort of sitting playing the waiting game like this, you don't always have the video on when things happen. So that was a bit fortunate, really. I think I said before, when you're dipping in little streams and you're in a spot that you know might hold a chub, you can you normally get the bite fairly quickly, and so you can start the video, and assuming there's a chub there, you capture everything. But when you're fishing the main river like this and just waiting, obviously I can't keep the video going all the time because the battery would run out. So it's a bit of luck really if you actually capture the bite. There might, of course, be other species down there as well. It's quite possible. It's difficult to know whether that's a bite or the wind. There's a sudden gust of wind then, so yeah, that's a bite. Oh, it was a bite. Or was it that duck? Could have been the ducks caught the line, I suppose. Never thought about that. It certainly seemed like a bite. Anyway, we'll assume it was a bite. That's a bite. Definitely a tap. Oh no. How did I miss that? Anyway. Missing it or not, we're getting bites, which is the important thing. Well, I just had a bit of a disaster. Bad cast, got stuck in those reeds down there and lost everything, so I just had to re-tackle. I only brought a couple of cage feeders with me, so that's one down. So if I lose this one, we'll be back just to a straight ledger. So yeah, I got too close to those reeds, and as I was retrieving it, it snagged the edge of them and got stuck up. That's the only trouble with a feeder. It snags a lot easier than a link ledger, and lost a lot, I'm afraid. Bit disappointing. It's given the swim a bit of a rest, huh? Just tightening up the line there, and it seemed to pull around more than I was tightening it. And the trouble is, as the feeder empties out, that it becomes lighter and it moves around a bit more. This wind today is northeasterly, and it is really quite chilly. I'm not putting massive bits of bread on because I'm thinking there might be other species down there. Although I love my chub, on a day like this anything's welcome. So it's the first day of March today, which according to the Met Office is technically the first day of spring. Doesn't feel very spring-like at the moment. We've had more spring-like days in February. Oh, it's so difficult to see. Is that a bite? That looks like a bite. It's sort of trembling, yeah. If that's a chub, it's very, very cautious. It's more like tap, tap, tap. We'll see what develops. No. Oh, come on. Oh dear, dear. Oh well. Maybe not chub. I just had a little walk up and down, warm myself up a bit. I'm not sure it's done much good, but at least got the blood moving around a bit. Things don't seem to be happening much now. After those few sort of tappy bites earlier, it seems to have gone quiet. I said I'll stay to 3 o'clock, but if things don't perk up a bit and if I get any colder, I may not. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock now, so as I say, that wind is northeasterly and it's very, very chilly, very, very chilly. Well, it's just coming up to 2 o'clock, and I think this is my last cast. I've put a fairly large lump of bread on. If there is a chub around down there, perhaps he'll oblige, but I'm not too hopeful. I'll give it about a quarter of an hour out there and see what happens. as I say, I think this is my last cast. If I was still getting taps and knocks, I would persevere, but I'm not really getting anything at the moment. Other than the rod being bent round a bit by the wind occasionally. Well, that's it for today. Absolutely frozen. One chub fairly early on. A few sort of half-hearted bites after that, and then went absolutely dead. So it's just gone 2. So I've been here just about 3 hours, which is enough today. Very cold northeasterly wind. But anyway, we did have a fish today, which was good. After some blanks recently and a couple of outings without even fishing. So as usual, thank you for watching if you've got this far, and until the next time, as I say, we've only got a couple of weeks left now in the open season for the rivers, so hope to get out at least one more time. So until then, thanks again, and have some good fishing out there, and cheers.